How's it going, guys? It's Gene, aka LS Turbo Integ. We're back at it again. We're gonna work on the Porsche Cayman today. We are going to install the H&R Sport Springs. I did order these from TireRack.com. I went to AutoZone, picked up the spring compressor tool that will be compress the springs to get the original shocks off so we can install the springs. How's it look? Like I mentioned in my last video, guys, it only made sense to do the springs now. I mean, look how easily accessible everything is. For the rear, I will have to take apart just the two towers from the Higo roll cage, which shouldn't be a problem. We're gonna go ahead and knock this out. I did apply for Slammedenuff, Ohio. Way back in January. I just got approved, what, 3 weeks ago? That's how long the process took. I was one of the fortunate ones to get approved for the indoor. They do have an overflowing with the overwhelming amount of applicants. They're actually approving registration for the outdoor show. So if you guys haven't already, go ahead and submit your registration now. We are about 2 weeks out, I believe, maybe 2.5 weeks out. So I got a lot of work to do to get this car back together. And as far as the fenders go, hoping Max from SCM Carbon should have that ready so I can slap those back on. And unfortunately, my hood won't be ready. It actually comes in the day after Slammedenuff. So that kind of sucks. I really wanted to showcase that hood. You know, things happen. 2 weeks after Slammedenuff, I will be at Seekrs down at the Kentucky Convention Center. I'll be there with Team Elevate, and I should have my hood then. So stay tuned for that. But we've got a lot of car show prep to do for Slammedenuff. Here's the spring, guys. These are for the rears, and these two on the outside are for the front. I did watch the couple videos on it. It's not too complicated. It is a process, so I'm basically gonna take my time. Hopefully I don't run into any issues. After everything's said and done, I will have to get this car aligned, and I'll set that up with German Auto Pros out there in Cleveland. They've done the alignment here on my BMW. As far as I know, they are the only ones that have a pit because my cars are low. Most of the local alignment shops couldn't get the vehicles on the lift without hitting the front spoiler, or the car just set overall too low to the ground. So, all right, fam. Let's get to this. We got a long day ahead and hope you guys enjoy. Thanks. Also, guys, I picked up some new jack stands just because the ones I have aren't the right ones. I do got the correct ones holding up the rears, but I've been meaning to replace the ones I always use in the front just because I know the front of the car is a lot lighter since the motor sits in the back or mid. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap these guys out. That way the car sits more level. So, all right. Alright guys, so far so good. So as far as getting everything apart wasn't too bad. It was pretty straightforward. The issue I ran into right now was because I have PASM. It's got that wire coming out on the top of the strut. And I was trying to figure out how the hell am I supposed to get the top nut off the hat. So after a bit of researching and talking to Matt over at Porsche Mod Squad, I had to get an O2 sensor, which is basically a loaner tool I got over at O'Reilly's. I do have the spring compressor. That was I borrowed from AutoZone. So I gotta basically decompress the spring, you guys, using this, and then use the O2 sensor to remove the top hat without damaging the PASM wire here. So just wanted to stop there for a second and let you guys know what's going on. All right, let's get back to work. Guys, take note that when you install the springs, this bottom perch, you can see there's a notch. See that? You want to make sure it sits right into that groove. Let's see if I can. Just like so. And the same thing for the top. See that groove right here? That's where this part's going to go in. And it just sits pretty much like in a cradle, really. So it's gonna sit just like that, you guys. Sitting right at the bottom there. And then right there at the top, there's that notch. So just wanted to point that out.
For those who surround you, need no funny kind. You can't see what's on my brain, I live inside my mind. Out of space and out of sight, you need me in my line. Need no face, don't need no phonies, no, no, no. Need no snakes, no only homies down for show. On go, 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 get a book and get the front end, we load up and roll, roll, roll. I got kids, yeah, I got staff, I make a little need more, more, more. I sell records, you sell packs, not on my level, no, no, no. I'm a pop star, I'm a rock star, I'm a winner. Think I'm not hard, you smoke rock hard waste, man, why you dumb?
Alright fam, we got one corner done. We still got 3 more to go, but I'm gonna go ahead and do that another day just because I had some other things going on, I had to stop, but I did get one side done. fairly easy to do, you guys. What I'll try to do is improve the way I did this. Trying to get the spring compressed, you got to make sure it stays even. That way the tower on top goes straight through the top. That way you can get that nut in place. What I was running into was that spring compressor at the bottom here, because if you look at it, there's not very many springs to compress. So because of the tower right here, or the strut housing, see this part right here? When it grabs onto the spring, this part butts up against the shock, and what it does, it kind of shoves the spring off to the side, so it's almost crooked, so you got to keep balancing both sides. I realize if you use the power tool, I think it goes a little too fast, so you have to do it by hand, little by little, as it compresses each side evenly. That way it keeps it straight. That way when it goes through, I barely have enough room to shove it down and then get the nut on. I'll incorporate what I learned from this side to the other side, but overall it was fairly simple. Taking everything out was pretty easy. The fact that there's no fender here, you guys, I didn't have to worry about, you know, damaging the fenders. I mean, look at all this room. I mean, you could see everything. Like, I was able to even get some video just from this angle. Usually you got the headlight here and the fender, but the fact that everything's all exposed, I mean, it makes it look so easy to get to everything. It's just one nut, this bracket, and the caliper needs to come off. Then it's the 3 shock towers, and basically I had the jack underneath here. I lowered it and it just dropped it. And then you do have to disconnect the PASM, and that's it. What I'm gonna do, work on the rest of the car later this week. So we still got this side and the 2 rears. So, all right, then that'll do it for just for today. Next time you see me, it'll be in a few days, and we're gonna continue on installing the rest of the H&R springs on the Porsche Cayman. All right, good night.
I ran up a check, I might do it again. Enemies close, had me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what, told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me, it's not adding up. Do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold-hearted, now I'm backed up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just take the money and go stack up. Only buying car to get tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault, I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what, told ya I'ma do me, why you hating on me, it's not adding up. Add it up, told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what, told ya I'ma do me, why you hating on me, it's not adding up. Not a son. I just want the cheese like where the Packers be. Never move out west to Hollywood, that's where the actors be. Never trust again if you had ever turned your back on me. Heard you got that bag, well I must have a hefty guy on me. Yeah, count up the loot, yeah, count it up. Call up the troops, we coming through, we coming through, we coming through. Yeah, call up, count up the loot, yeah, count it up. Call up the troops, call up, we coming through. My chips with the dip. I jump like a running back, my hit sick. This is not for fake, this is not pretend. I was always like this, just a white boy from the ends. Yeah, what I drive is not a rental. No, I had a long day, so she gave me dental. 2 phone numbers, no phones on me. I can't trust nobody but my own body. Wish I was a nobody, not a nobody. Take my whole body, then I make a carbon copy. I just get the bag, then I whoop. I just want the check like a swoosh. Yeah, hop right up the jet to the coupe. Don't gotta be all up in the loops when you're the loop.